Welcome to Denton Mazda, another employee spotlight segment here with Will Gassner, sales associate. How you doing, Will?
Not too bad. It's been a long day with the weather.
Yeah, it is tough, but once again, Denton Mazda is conveniently located just right across the bridge here in Corinth, Texas. And really, wherever you are, if you're in Frisco, Plano, Denton, Corinth, Louisville, it's easy to come up here and come see Will. Well, Will, you have served others for many years. Tell us a little bit about the service you did in other countries when you did some missionary work.
Yeah, so I started in 2019. I moved out to New Zealand for about 6 months, doing like training and everything, prep and get ready for actually going out on the mission field. Did that for about 6 months. I spent 2 months in the Philippines to kind of, put into practice what I had learned. And then I actually, believe it or not, came back to the States, and that's when I started here as a porter.
Yeah, you've got a neat story. Being a porter right now, you've got a great inventory. I think as of last week, a little over 300 new vehicles, and I'm sure you have an abundance of pre-owned as well. But being a porter, you're moving vehicles all around the lot to the pre-owned sales center, and then even up at the fairgrounds up near the University of North Texas. Yep. But then they saw enough in you and believed in you to become a sales associate. Tell us a little bit about that transition and moving into sales.
Yeah, fear. I was like, don't want to be in front of people. I didn't want to do, I had this big, fear of talking in front of people, especially new people. Previous boss bugged me for a couple weeks. Hey, come sell cars for me. Come sell cars. And I kept saying no. I finally said yes. As soon as I said yes, I was like, what I put myself into? 2.5 years down the road, selling cars.
What a lot of people that might see this don't realize is every one of you are in sales. You're selling and communicating an idea. Whether you're a teacher, you're communicating, you want to share with your classroom, those 22 or 28 students. Right. And that was probably a challenge you had, is getting over that title of becoming a salesperson. And really, at the end of the day, you're just solving problems. You're helping put a customer in the right vehicle at the right time in their customer buying journey.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, it's always whether your car gets totaled or you're buying a car for your, daughter's 16th birthday. There's always people in the market for a new vehicle.
And you were telling me right before we hit the record button that doing your missionary work, really, you learned how to be service to others. And that's exactly what you're doing here at Denton Mazda. Yeah. Tell us about, you don't have to mention names, but some of the recent customers that you serve, maybe first-time car buyers or first-time to Denton Mazda, some repeat customers, because you've been here a couple of years now. You don't have to mention names, but talk to us about the challenges that they had maybe getting into a new vehicle or pre-owned, and how you're able to solve that problem.
Sure. I mean, I had plenty of repeat customers, and I've only been here 2.5 years. I think the biggest thing is, I get a lot of people that never seen Mazda before, and they're like, well, what is this? They look at our reviews and our ratings, and they're like, oh my gosh, this looks great. Let me check it out. And they're just so ignorant because they've never researched Mazdas, never looked into them. And now Mazda's popping up here. But I just like to sell the value of the vehicle. We're a non-luxury premium brand. So you get the premium feel without the price tag. You get the reliability ratings and safety ratings to back it up.
Well, everybody is looking for a lot of value for less money. And I can tell you, come shop here at Denton Mazda, come see Will and the friendly staff here, and you'll see for yourself after one test drive, the way these cars perform and handle, the way they feel, the premium features, the safety features.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about those safety features, because that's one thing that wowed me when I got behind the wheel of a Mazda.
Yeah. So like all of our, except for our Miatas, our little two-door sports cars, they're all going to come standard no matter what trim, whether it's a base model or a top of the line. You get the rear cross traffic alert, you get blind spot monitoring system, lane keep assist, smart city brake support. Obviously, I could go into more depth of those, but look at a base model, whatever it be, a CX-5, CX-50, CX-30, they all come standard with that. Whereas with other makes and models and brands, I believe you have to kind of jump up to a higher trim to get some of those.
Will Gassner, thanks so much for joining us on this segment here at Denton Mazda. We're here with Scott Selby. Been here at Denton Mazda since 2018. Another Denton Mazda employee spotlight. Welcome, Scott.
How's it going? Good to be here.
Well, I've got to know you a little bit over the last few weeks, and I can tell you're passionate about cars. You're a family guy, and I know Mazda is all about family safety. So we're going to jump right in. Let's talk about the importance of safety and how Denton Mazda and the Mazda brand tackles safety.
All of the vehicles in our lineup are going to be IHS Top Safety Pick Plus. I'm not sure if you know what that is, but that's the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. When they give you a Top Safety Pick Plus rating, that's going to be the absolute highest rating you can get. It's going to help with things like insurance, your peace of mind, just knowing your family's in a car that's one of the safest ones on the road out there.
Well, I can speak to to that. My son was in a Mazda 3 a few years ago, coming back from a baseball game, was just on a service road, just going probably about 25, 30 miles an hour, got in some uneven pavement, and he went up a guide wire. The car was basically turned upside down on the guide wire, and he and his buddy just walked away.
No, you'd be surprised. I hear that story pretty regularly since about 2018. So, I mean, been through some iterations of customers who've purchased cars, been in an accident, and they always come back and say, hey, man, this car saved my life. Getting another one.
Being a family guy, having a 2-year-old and a 2-week-old, congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
I know how important it is for your family to be in a safe vehicle. You serve a lot of families here at Denton Mazda. Can you talk at a high level without maybe mentioning any family names, how you've been able to serve throughout the years here at Denton Mazda?
For a lot of people, for the longest time, it seemed like Mazda was kind of the go-to first car for a lot of people's kids. You know, turned 16, they want them to be in something safe, something reliable, and something that's affordable too. Mazda kind of ticks all those boxes. For lack of a better term, champagne taste on a beer budget.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. That's what seems to be the theme here, that people, a lot of the general public don't know what kind of value they can get in a Mazda. Would you say it's really been improved the last few years since you've been here? Mazda's always been about value.
So Mazda has pushed. I want to say it's ever since we've split off from Ford. Safety has become a big priority, and sort of moving out of that economy niche of the market. Mazda's trying to move towards more of a premium vehicle, and that's really reflected in cars like our CX-90 and our CX-70 that have just come out.
Well, you're passionate about cars. You were talking a little bit earlier about, I think you were only 14 years old and you acquired your first classic car. I think your customers, your future customers, and the people here in the Denton County community want to know more about that, because there's a lot of classic car folks in North Texas.
For sure. So I really have always been a car guy. You know, started probably with the Hot Wheels as a little kid. Got one of those little Hot Wheels car wash stations, play with that, and then running the little trucks in the sandbox and stuff like that. But no, yeah, I remember as a little kid, I saw one of those C3 Corvettes in my neighbor's yard one day, and I was like, hey, what's that? And he started talking about it, and I was like, man, I'm gonna get me one of those. So I started mowing yards and doing little odd jobs here and there. Winter would come, I'd be scooping snow or whatever. Saved up my money until I was 14, and then started looking around and was able to find one and buy it by the time I was 15 years old.
So at age 15, I'm going to assume you didn't even have your driver's license yet.
No, but I grew up out in the boonies outside of Amarillo, so a little bit of a different world out there. You know, you can get away with a little bit of driving before you turn 6. I don't recommend that to anybody, by the way, but different times.
And Scott, I'm jealous. I've always been a fan of the Corvette. I've never owned one. You own not only one, but 2 Corvettes, a 74 and a 2004. Definitely, I'm about the 67 to mid 70s Corvette. So,
Sure.
So one day we'll grab a sunny day, and I definitely want to go for a ride in that 74 Vet. Do you get to drive them often?
You know, I'm always here. This is where this is my second family, basically. I've got probably more time with these guys than I do with my actual family. It just goes to show you, with this kind of a business, you've got to be involved.
Yeah, talk about you wear several hats here at Denton Mazda. You've been a real help to all the things we're doing here, marketing wise and media wise. You help out a lot of the other salespeople as well, and you're always willing to serve others. Tell us about maybe some of the other hats you wear here at Denton Mazda.
Sure. So officially, probably going to just be sales guy and assistant sales manager. So those job duties are going to be pretty self-explanatory. As far as the ASM role, I'm just helping people facilitate deals, helping with some kind of administrative stuff, making sure documents and paperwork's in order, and then making sure that our customers are getting followed up with properly, getting the information they need. As a sales guy, my job is going to be to obviously sell cars, help people find the right vehicle that works for them and their family. Unofficially, I mean, I do a little bit of everything here. If they need a toilet unclogged, I'm your guy. You need a car buffed in the back, I'm your guy. You need help setting up a shoot for a Thursday afternoon, I'm your guy.
Well, you do it with enthusiasm, and you have an uncanny ability, whether it's a 16, 17-year-old coming here and starting the buying journey on their own without a parent here, just to kind of check out Mazda, a seasoned professional find a vehicle for business travel. Tell us about, how did you get that ability to be able to cross over so many different types of people?
Probably, I've always had a very entrepreneurial spirit. I would say it really started as a kid, just trying to start businesses, trying to do my own thing. And it's always been, if you want to have a successful business, it's all about the people who work there, the patrons of your business, I guess I would say. It all comes down to treating people right and trying to be upfront and honest with everybody. quality. So that's my main goals: honesty, integrity, and respect.
What's the average length of ownership with a Mazda? When someone walks off the lot with a brand new Mazda, whatever model, what's the average time that they will drive that Mazda before they perhaps trade it in on a new one?
Sure. So you've got two schools of thought with that, right? Mazda is a very reliable brand. So there's some people that are just like, hey, I want something that's not going to give me any problems. I'm going to drive it till the wheels fall off. And Mazda fits that category perfectly. Type of customer that you have is somebody who's saying, hey, every 3 years, I like to upgrade, get into a new car, make sure I'm still in my factory warranties. And I like to have my lowest monthly payment I can possibly get. So for those type of customers, leasing is going to be a good option. And we have a ton of people who just constantly come in, flip their leases every 3 years or so.
Well, come see Scott Selby here at Denton Mazda. He's going to take great care of you.
Yeah.
It's easy to get to, right up Interstate 35, anywhere in Denton County, or really in the entire Metroplex.
Yeah, I mean, a straight shot off of I-35. So you can get here from pretty much anywhere you're coming in about 30, 40 minutes max.
Thanks, Scott, for joining us today. Have a great rest of your week. Another employee spotlight. I want to welcome in Caleb Hernandez. How you doing, Caleb?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, you've got the most passion that I've ever been around at a car dealership. Tell us where that comes from.
Well, it comes from always having a passion for Mazdas. I've always liked the Miata. I actually have one personally. It's my daily driver, and I've had it for a couple of years now. It started off with going to car meets, and actually before that, it was Fast and the Furious, and there was a lot of different aspects of that. My mom had a boyfriend of a few years, and I watched him work on the cars, and that's kind of what developed and grew me and grew that passion to work on vehicles and the Miata for me, and that's what drew me in to want to and have the position as a porter here at Mazda.
Yeah, you have a unique story. Your 1990 Miata has about 120-something thousand miles on it. You brought it up here to Denton Mazda to just take some photos, leverage their logo as the backdrop of your Miata, and you struck up a conversation with Scott, one of the salespeople here, and he said they had some openings, and you're like, hey, I might be interested in that job, and that's how you became a porter here just a little over 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's right. And I've been doing it for 3 months, and I got to say, every month, every day I come into work and it doesn't feel like work. The term work is a very loose term. For me, it feels like a pastime, that it doesn't feel like work, and it feels like I'm doing something that, words can't even explain it. It's an amazing place to be. The environment, the people, I come for growth. I come to better myself as a person, and I see it as a long-term career for me. So
it really says a lot about the culture here at Denton Mazda that Jay Odom and the management team has created. It's really has a family feel. And I know looking over there at the reception area where a lot of customers are waiting for their cars to finish up its service, there's a lady over there right now that has some very young, and she feels very safe here. It's a very clean environment. And one of the most amazing showrooms I've ever seen as well.
Me too. I agree with you. Definitely. Going into the dealerships as a kid, you would see all the cool cars in the showroom, but nothing compares to this. How they have a lift, and as soon as you walk in, you look to your left, and I don't know if you could Google it or look it up or probably get a visual of what it looks like. But it's an amazing environment.
You see a career path for yourself.
Yes.
You want to move from a porter to a lube tech and to a master tech eventually. And tell us a little bit about how you swapped out your own engine recently and your passion for technical expertise and doing engine work. And you want to do that. And I'm positive you'll get there soon here at Denton Mazda.
So it all started when I wanted a cleaner build, not a cleaner build, but I wanted the one that I got it was rough. I think it was in a front end accident, or most definitely was in a front end accident. And I had a hardtop at the time. And if you were unaware, the hardtops go for a pretty penny. I want to say about $1,500 to $2,000. And so what I did is I ended up trading a Miata hardtop that I had on the car at the time for that Miata. And so now I went from a blue one to a red one. And so now it's a cleaner car altogether. But I also wanted to do it for the experience, to learn and to kind of get a general understanding on what goes into what I'm driving every day. And there's a lot that goes into it, but at the same time, it's all good to know. I'm very grateful to have been able to work on that platform, because it's an amazing platform and a good base to learn on, because it's your most basic 4-cylinder engine. And
well, Caleb, I know you don't work directly with customers at the moment, but you're in and out of the showroom, you're in and out of the service department. What can you tell the audience their experience will be here, whether they're coming in for service or they're considering a new or pre-owned Mazda for the very first time? You as a Mazda owner, what can you share about the Mazda experience?
Reliability reliability. And I think that no other brand has that to offer. You get reliability on top of, I mean, they're sleek. They're just beautiful. They're just amazing cars through and through. The Miata, as old as it is, it's never let me down. And I've known people with even newer ones, and it's just amazing cars. Infotainment system it's modern, it's sleek. It's everything you can ask for in a modern vehicle. And even the older ones, they stand the test of time. And I think that it says a lot about the Mazda brand as a whole. I think Mazda is continuing to do what they're doing in a positive manner, and so I value the Mazda team. I value everything about it. I don't know. There's just so many good things to say.
No doubt your future's bright here, and you're passionate about what you do. Caleb Hernandez on the Employee Spotlight here at Denton Mazda. Another Denton Mazda Employee Spotlight. I'm here with Patsy Ingalls, Service Advisor. Welcome. Well, I was watching you in action over there. The service desk is just a short 20 yards from us here, and you were taking some good care of customers. You've been in the auto business for 8 years. Tell us a little bit about how you got in the automotive business and what you like most about being a service advisor.
I got into the business when I was about 25. My second daughter was born. I just went in being a cashier, and I watched the advisors, and then I started doing loaner vehicles. So I got a little more, I don't know how to say it, like more things to do. That's what I'm trying to say. Like more responsibilities. There you go.
Yeah, you had a role in sales for a little bit. You say, hey, I'm going to try my hand in sales. And then you went back to service, and you were just telling me how you like serving others. You like talking to people, and you prefer the service side of the business. Tell us why.
Well, when I initially had went into sales in 18, I wanted to go to service. And my personality, they were like, oh, you'll be great at sales. I was very great at sales. I loved it. I just love meeting people, talking to people. But when it comes to the service side, I like to be busy. My husband's a technician. My father-in-law is a technician. I've been around it my entire life. And like I said, I just like talking to people, and I like meeting new people. And I think with service and sales, with sales, yes, you have your repeat customers. Not everybody buys a car every year. Everybody has to get an oil change at least every 6 months.
Preventive maintenance is so important, and Mazda is known to be a great, reliable brand, but really the key to that is service. Mm-hmm. Now, you have 3 kids of your own. When a family comes in here, we mentioned earlier, there's a young family right across from us waiting on their car to be completed in service. You can have empathy with them. You know exactly what they're going through when they need to get the car out to maybe get home and prepare a meal or get one of their kids from school. How important is it for you to take care of families here at Denton Mazda?
It is a big thing for me. I passed a long time ago when my son was a baby. I had a bad experience at another dealership with service. And my biggest thing is, especially families have little ones with them, I want to make sure they are taken care of and their focus is there. The family that was here, I was playing with a little girl, had her occupied while mom was trying to talk to dad and get everything settled.
Well, one thing we learned about you, Patsy, is you love animals, and you've got quite a few there at the house. Tell us some about that and why you love animals so much.
I have always been an animal lover since I was a kid. My grandma always said I called cows like moo-moos or something. I don't even remember. But I've always been an animal lover. I've grown up with them, mainly just dogs, cats, normal pets. I do have 4 dogs and a cat, but my biggest passion, I love reptiles and amphibians and animals like that. I have a snake. She's a GHI Mojave, so she is a special. I do have a red-footed tortoise, and I have a bearded dragon as well. If I had it my way, I would have a pet skunk too, but I don't get everything my way.
That sounds a little dicey, a pet skunk. Well, Patsy, the family culture here, you're a family person, but the culture here at Denton Mazda is all about family. To us a little bit about the family feel and atmosphere here between service, sales, just everybody here at the dealership.
Everybody, like I said before, I've only been here going on a week, and I really like the feel here. Everybody has been really nice, taking care of me. If I need something, they help me with it. If I have any questions, they help me with it. They will show me things. Somebody brought me lunch yesterday. One of the techs gave me some snacks today. Like, I like it.
Well, Patsy Ingalls, come see her here if you've got a Mazda and need to make an appointment for service, or you can do it online. Thank you, Patsy, for joining us on this Employee Spotlight here at Denton Mazda.
Thank you for having me.